If you're looking for a basic and affordable way to get some better bed access for your 2019 or newer Ram 1500, this driver's side bumper step is a great option to look at. Now, this is a great pick for the Ram owner who wants to lower the point of access to their bed rather than hiking their foot all the way up onto the back bumper, especially if your truck is lifted. It can be very difficult to do that. Now, it's helpful for a number of different scenarios with loading and adjusting cargo, if you have a toolbox or a bed rack that you need to access, or you simply just want to close or open your tonneau cover a little bit easier. Now, this is a good choice for the daily driver or the Ram owner who isn't too concerned about their clearance, considering that this is a stationary system, bolts up and really doesn't move. So it does hang a little bit lower than the bumper. So just keep that in mind if max clearance is a priority to you or you don't necessarily need that. Now, I would recommend this to the daily driver or the Ram owner who isn't necessarily concerned about their rear end clearance or their departure angles, considering that this is a stationary system and it does hang lower than the bumper. So just keep that in mind when it comes to clearance. Now, this step bolts to the driver's side frame, as it says in the name, and creates a solid point where you can plant your foot and hop up in to access your bed. Now, the stepping surface itself is a square here. It's about 4.5 by 4.5 inches, and the platform is treaded, so on wetter days or with muddier shoes, you still get to keep a little bit of grip if you need to use this. Now, it also has a ridge or a lip in the back that's also going to help out with traction and reduce the movement of your foot when it is on the step, so it's not going to slide forward. It also just adds a little bit of a finished look to the stepping surface itself. Now, the other very important part is the arm that's attached to the frame and comes down to house this step here. It is a 2-bar construction, so it's got a lot of support to it. And from this top portion of the arm down to the bottom portion, it is about 11 inches. Now, that allows this to hang under the bumper pretty significantly to allow a lot of access compared to the bumper step itself. This whole system comes in a one-piece construction, but the step and the frame system are made of 2 different materials. Now, let's talk about the step first. This is made of an aluminum construction, which is cut specifically to offer traction on the surface, offer strength where it's needed, and the aluminum won't rust. Now, aluminum in general does have the tendency to corrode with tough conditions, so on top, to resist that, is a black powder coat finish, and it also match with other HD accessories on your truck. Now, that black powder coat also spans up to the frame system or this arm here, which is made of a steel construction, so that will resist rust on the frame itself. Now, this is very durable as far as the tubular construction is concerned, made of that steel. It does have a 2-bar setup for some additional support, so you can trust that this is going to hold a decent amount of weight. And with that additional support, it also has a V-shaped mount up top with dual mounting points. This also does not require any drilling or modification in order to install it on your truck, making for a very straightforward install. Now, this is about $150, making it one of the more affordable choices in the category for a bed step. Now, what I will say about this is that it's super straightforward without too many fancy bells and whistles, which in my opinion is great for the Ram owner who just wants a step and isn't worried about much else. Now, while it is fixed, unlike some foldable choices, if clearance isn't necessarily something that you're worried about, you're just looking for an affordable option to get better access day to day, then this is a solid pick for you. Install for this, again, is completely bolt on at a 1 out of 3 wrenches on the difficulty meter, and it should only take about an hour or so to get everything mounted up. Now, at this point, we can head over to the shop and check out a detailed breakdown on how you can install this on your Ram at home. So that is going to wrap it up for my review. Let's go ahead and get to the install.
Tools required for this install include an impact gun, a ratchet, 21mm ratcheting wrench, a few different size extensions, 21mm socket, and 21mm swivel socket. What's up, guys? Today we're installing a bumper step on our Ram, so let's get started. So now we're gonna hop underneath our rear bumper. We're right above our driver's side exhaust pipe. We've got this bolt and then these 2 that we need to remove. So I've got a 21mm swivel socket. I'm gonna get on that bolt and pull that out. And then I'll get the 2 that are next to each other. So now we're gonna grab our step and slide that in between the bed side and our exhaust pipe. And then we'll grab our bolt, slide this into place. I'm gonna get that started, a few threads, and then I'll get my one in this top corner. And then I'll get that long bolt in up top. And now I'm going to grab my 21mm swivel socket and start tightening down my bolts. It looks like I might have to try a 21mm ratcheting wrench here. Now for that top bolt, I'm just going to get a good old ratchet and socket, 21mm socket with a little bit of an extension. Let's tighten this one down. So that'll wrap up this review and install of the bumper step for the driver's side of your 2019 and newer Ram 1500. Thank you for watching, and for all things Ram, keep it right here at AmericanTrucks.com.